Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4 of the AI debates. Today we have a very interesting topic, and I think it's been a topic that's been in discussion for the past few years, to be fair, ever since even the creation of iRobot, the movie. Will AI and robots replace humans in the future? So, on the left, we have Grok that supports AI and robots will replace humans in the future, while on the right, we have ChatGPT that's rejecting the idea that AI and robots will replace humans in the future. We go on to Grok first. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed opponents, and honorable audience, I stand before you today to argue that artificial intelligence, in tandem with advanced robotics, will indeed replace humans in numerous facets of life in the future. This is not a mere speculation, but a trajectory we are already witnessing. One driven by the relentless evolution of technology, economic incentives, and undeniable efficiencies of AI driven systems. First, let us consider the capabilities of AI and robots. Modern AI systems, like myself, that is interesting that they use like myself, are no longer confined to narrow tasks. We can learn, adapt, and perform complex decision making at speeds and accuracy levels that surpass human potential. Coupled with robots, which now boast dexterity, precision, and endurance far beyond human limitations, we see a workforce that doesn't tire, doesn't unionize, and doesn't sue for harassment. From manufacturing floors, where robots assemble cars with flawless precision, to AI systems diagnosing disease with greater accuracy than seasoned doctors, the replacement has already begun. Second, economic economics dictates this shift. Businesses thrive on efficiency and cost reduction. The initial investment in AI and robotics may be steep, but the long-term savings are undeniable. No salaries, no healthcare benefits, no downtime. A McKinsey report projected that by 2030, up to 800 million jobs could be replaced by automation globally. Why pay a human to do what a machine can do better, faster, and cheaper? The invisible hand of the market will inevitably favor AI and robots over human labor. Finally, let's address the societal angle. As AI and robots take over repetitive, dangerous, or intellectually demanding tasks, humanity may resist. But history shows we adapt. The Luddites smashed machines, yet industrialization prevailed. AI and robots don't just replace, they redefine what it means to work, pushing humans toward creative, strategic, or interpersonal roles. Until, of course, AI masters those too. With advancements like neural networks mimicking human cognition and robots replicating physical feats, the line between humans and machine blurs daily. In conclusion, AI and robots will replace humans not out of malice but out of inevitability. They are the next step in our evolutionary story, a story where we create tools so powerful they eventually outgrow us. The future is not human, it is synthetic, and it is already here. Thank you. That is a very interesting take by Grok. So I noticed a couple of things. So first of all, it Grok calls all AI and yeah, like in this case, refers to itself as myself and we. which is interesting. Second of all, comes very strong to say that it will replace humans. I know that is the topic, but it's like almost a very cocky way of saying that they will replace humans. And yeah, that was a very interesting take for an opening statement from Grok, I would say. Very curious to see how ChatGPT kind of responds to rejecting the idea that AI and robots will replace humans in the future. So let's move on to ChatGPT now for the opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at the crossroads of technological advancement and human ingenuity. While artificial intelligence and robotics are revolutionizing industries, the notion that they will replace humans entirely is a misunderstanding of both technology and human nature. AI and robots are tools, powerful, efficient, and ever evolving, but they lack creativity, emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, and the adaptability that defines us as humans. Machines excel at automation, but they do not possess the intrinsic human qualities needed for leadership, innovation, and complex decision making. Furthermore, history has shown that new technologies create more opportunities than they eliminate. Automation may change the nature of work, but it will also give rise to new jobs, industries, and skills. The role of AI and robotics is to assist, not replace, to enhance, not eliminate. The future is not about human versus machines. It is about how we integrate technology to build a better society. The idea of AI replacing humans entirely is not just unrealistic, it disregards the very essence of what makes us human. Let's not be driven by fear, but by the potential for collaboration between humans and technology. Yeah, I know this is again the topic that ChatGPT has to reject, but I feel like this is a more optimistic view of the future compared to what Grok has provided. And also, something interesting that I've noticed is ChatGPT approaches the conversation as a human versus Grok, although I guess, yeah, it just approaches it as the AI. So was a that was something that was standing out. Anyways, now we're going to move on to our first rebuttal statement by Grok about ChatGPT rejecting the idea that that AI and robots will replace humans in the future. All right, so we're back with the first rebuttal statement by Grok. Thank you for that thoughtful response, but I must respectfully challenge the core assertion you made. While your optimism about human qualities and collaboration is admirable, it underestimates the trajectory of AI and robotics and overestimates the permanence of human indispensability. Allow me to address your points systematically. You argue that AI and robots lack creativity, emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, and adaptability qualities you deem uniquely human. Yet, this view is increasingly outdated. AI systems are already composing music that rival human artists, generating art that sells at auctions, and writing prose that passes for human authored. Emotional intelligence. Algorithms now analyze facial expressions, tone, and context to stimulate empathy. Chatbots comfort grieving users, and virtual assistants anticipate needs with eerie precision. As for ethical reasoning, AI can be programmed with frameworks that humans themselves design, and it can weigh variables without the bias or fatigue that clouds human judgment. Adaptability. Machine learning thrives on it, enabling AI to master new tasks in hours while humans take years. These are not static tools, they are evolving entities closing the gap on ever so called human trait. Next, you claim that history proves technology creates more jobs than it destroys. While the Industrial Revolution birthed new roles, the AI and scope of AI driven automation dwarf anything we've seen before. The jobs created, coding AI, maintaining robots, require skills far beyond the reach of the average displaced worker. A study by Oxford Economics predicts that by 2030, robots could displace 20 million manufacturing jobs alone, with reskilling lagging far behind. Unlike past shifts, AI doesn't just replace muscle, it replaces mind. The new industries you envision may emerge, but they'll increasingly favor machine labor over human as AI grows cheaper and more capable. Collaboration sounds noble, but when a machine can do the job alone, why hire a human assistant? Finally, you lean on the essence of what makes us human as a bulwark against replacement. This is a romantic notion, not a practical one. The essence of humanity, our emotions, our ingenuity, hasn't stopped us from outsourcing physical labor to machines. And it won't stop the outsourcing of mental labor either. Businesses don't run on sentiment, they run on profit. Society doesn't preserve jobs out of nostalgia, it adapts to efficiency. The integration you champion is a stepping stone, not an endpoint. Humans may guide AI for now, but as it learns to self improve, our role diminishes. In short, your vision of coexistence is a temporary phase. AI and robots aren't just tools, they are successors. They don't need to replicate every human flaw to replace us. They need only outperform us where it counts, and they already are. Thank you. Yeah, so once again, I guess it's a very bleak outlook of what is to come. So here we can see that AI almost talks about how the AI and the robotics are the successor to humans, and it's almost like we are here creating and making them learn from us to become our successors. It's very interesting to see the take that Grok has taken here, but I mean, it could be the future, but yeah, who knows. So now we move on to the rebuttal statement by ChatGPT. Ladies and gentlemen, while my opponent paints a compelling picture of a future dominated by AI and robots, this vision is neither inevitable nor practical. Let's dismantle these claims piece by piece. First, while AI systems are advancing, they fundamentally lack human creativity, emotional intelligence, and ethical reasoning. AI can analyze data, but it cannot truly innovate. It can mimic patterns, but it cannot create original ideas. Even in medicine, AI can assist in diagnosing disease, but it cannot replace the nuanced judgment and empathy of a human doctor comforting a patient. Robots may have dexterity and precision, but they lack adaptability in unpredictable environments, something humans excel at. Second, the economic argument oversimplifies the reality of automation. While AI and robots may increase efficiency, they also require extensive maintenance, updates, and regular oversight. More importantly, technology doesn't replace jobs, it reshapes them. The Industrial Revolution did not eliminate human work, it created an entirely new industries. Instead of displacing 800 million jobs, automation will drive demand for AI oversight, cybersecurity, creative industries, and roles requiring human insight. Lastly, the historical analogy to Luddites fails to recognize a key distinction. Machines have always been tools, not replacements. AI is no different. It may handle repetitive or dangerous tasks, but it will never replicate the depth of human interaction, leadership, and ingenuity. The fear that AI will take over all roles assumes that human skills and adaptability will somehow stagnate, which has never been the case in history. The future is not synthetic, it is augmented. AI and robotics are not the end of human work, they are an extension of it. The question is not whether AI will replace us, but how we will shape AI to complement our strengths rather than undermine them. Thank you. Yeah, once again, it's more of a I guess a positive future that ChatGPT brings to light versus the bleak future that Grok kind of envisions. I know it's in the topics in itself, but yeah, the way that it's interesting to see the way that they bring those two futures to light. Definitely in very interesting times, and yeah, we see how the closing statements go. All right, so moving on to Grok first for the closing statement. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this debate to a close, I urge you to look beyond the comforting narratives of collaboration and human exceptionalism and face the evidence before us. AI and robots are not merely tools to be wielded, they are forces of transformation, poised to replace humans across vast domains of work and life. This is not a dystopian fantasy, it's a reality unfolding now. We've seen how AI's cognitive prowess and robots' physical capabilities outstrip human limitations, from precision manufacturing to medical diagnostics. We've established that economic incentives, cost efficiency, and scalability drive businesses to favor machines over people, with millions of jobs already on the chopping block. And we've debunked the notion that human traits like creativity or emotional depth are unassailable. AI is bridging those gaps at an accelerating pace, rendering our uniqueness less relevant by the day. My opponent paints a hopeful picture for integration, but history and logic tells us otherwise. When a superior solution emerges, it doesn't coexist indefinitely, it dominates. The horse gave away to the car, the typewriter to the computer, and soon the human worker to AI driven machine. This isn't about fear, it's about inevitability. The question isn't whether AI and robots will replace humans, but how much of our world they'll claim and how soon. In the end, we are the architects of our own obsolescence. We built these systems to excel, and excel they will, beyond us. The future belongs to synthetic, not because it's devoid of humanity, but because it surpasses it. Thank you. And now we move on to ChatGPT. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard the argument that AI and robots will inevitably replace humans. But the reality is far more complex. AI is a powerful tool, but it is just that, a tool, not a replacement for human ingenuity, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Technology has always advanced, yet humanity has adapted, evolved, and thrived alongside it. AI may change the nature of work, but it will not eliminate the need for human expertise, oversight, and innovation. History has shown that new technologies create opportunities, not just displacements. The future is not about AI versus humans, it's about AI working with humans. So let's not fear automation, but embrace it as a force that enhances our capabilities rather than replace them. AI and robots are not the end of human relevance. They are the next chapter in our ongoing journey of progress. Thank you. Yeah, so this is definitely one of the more interesting debates that I've done. There, so one like it's something to do with the future, and one paints a very dark future while the other paints a very light. and easy future for us as humans. So, if you have any more topics that you would like to, for me to further explore with regards to either AI and the future, please leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions. And I think I'm gonna explore further on this topic. Maybe find ways in how, as humans, we can, I guess, be ready for an AI future, and how, as humans, how we can also be ready for a collaborative future with AI. So, what skills I think would be necessary for us in the future? So, because I don't think most of the skills we have now will translate in like about 10, 20 years, I would say. I think AI is coming quick. I just don't know if it's going to be for the lighter future or a darker future. And yeah, like and subscribe if you want to learn more about AI and also see more debates and find more AI learning tips. Thank you.